Hey guys, I'm Ezra, and this is Pastor Jeff, and we're here for the weekend extra. And it was an incredible service tonight. I'm really glad that we got to talk about this value of making Jesus make sense.
Yep.
And it was awesome. The whole service was really impactful. And but we talked a lot about evangelism, right? About doing the work of evangelists, and one of the things that struck me was how beautiful the feet of those that bring good news.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, it's just really awesome. So a lot of us that have been walking with Christ for a while, and they say, that's fine. You can talk about, it's nice. Well, the pastor needs to talk about sharing Jesus. That's his job. But there's but you really, we're talking, it is the job of every single person, every single believer, to bring the gospel into their neighborhood, into their sphere of influence. And you really kind of brought that home, that it's not the church's job. Well, it is the church's job, but the church is all of us. So, but a lot of people, when they go to share their faith, most people, they face fears. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it would be interesting to explore just for a few minutes, what are some common fears that you face when sharing your faith personally?
Yeah. I think they're the same as everybody else. I'm not sure that you somehow get numb to fears or insecurities. And I think my fears and insecurities, I'm not sure I could discern between the two.
Okay.
Right? So, but it's usually along those lines. So it's usually a fear/insecurity that I'm going to harm a relationship.
Right.
So do I know this person well enough? If I cross this line with them, am I going to break that relationship or make it weird, kind of a thing? And so it's usually that. It's usually trying to navigate that. And that's really where we use this term a lot, pray for the Nobrainer Moment. Yeah. I really had to learn that because I used to really force these things. I felt like that's what God wanted me to do. And
so you would share Christ out of obedience because you're like, this is what I have to do.
100%.
And love for them, but
but if you sat beside me on a plane, I was going to bring this up, kind of a thing. Yeah. And I really grew in that. And I learned to wait on the Holy Spirit, and I found that if the Holy Spirit is not opening the door to evangelism, you're kicking it in, and sometimes it does more damage than good. If you pray for and wait on the no-brainer moment, and the Holy Spirit opens that door, it's usually at least a warm conversation, if not a spiritually productive one. So what I've learned to do is kind of create environments, right? So if I'm on a plane, I'm going to have my Bible out. If somebody wants to talk, they do. If they put their headphones in, which is the universal plane symbol for don't talk to me, then I don't. With my neighbors, with my friends, I'm going to talk about my faith. I'm going to talk about God. I'm going to talk about prayer, just in the context of my own life. Mm-hmm. And where that goes, it goes. And it's alleviated some of that fear. If you want to just talk about the Cavs instead, then we'll just do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because somebody's avoiding that. They're like, I hear that, and they never ask anything about it. They avoid it, and you're like, what do you think about God? Oh, things, and move on.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is not an open subject. Or your relationship, right? There isn't a trust there that they want you to speak to that.
Or it's just not there yet, you know, and so you let it be what it is, and you're waiting on God. To be honest with you, my biggest struggle with evangelism is not fear, it's selfishness.
Okay.
And sometimes I just don't want to deal with it. I want to watch the movie on the plane, or I have a free evening. I don't want to have a conversation with a neighbor.
Oh.
I don't want to go into environments where I know there's lots of relational opportunities because I'm tired of my relationships.
Right.
And so there's like this balance between recharging your batteries, but it's honestly, for me, it's more of a selfishness that sometimes I'm almost afraid God's going to give me a no-brainer moment, and my night's going to be chewed up in ways I didn't want it to be chewed up.
Yeah, you had other plans.
I had other plans, and so I'm just being honest about it. I think we all deal with that. I do, I know I'm the pastor, but I do too.
Jeff, I don't deal with that.
You are just an open-hearted, loving guy.
I actually had an experience just yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I was over at my dad's house, and I met a new neighbor. Bought the house, had just moved in. And I was like, hey, you new to the area? You looking for a church? And he was like, not really my thing, man. I'm like, okay. All right, moving on. Yeah. Just like, but there's so much that goes into like the right timing. And, when a relationship is open and when to go there. Yeah, and it was one of those things. I was tired. I was there to work on my dad's house. I wasn't there for that at all.
And so if you have a prayerful heart and a commitment to do the work of an evangelist, you can throw out a feeler like that and you got shot down. So you get to go back and work on your dad's house then. Yeah. The Holy Spirit didn't open the door.
Right.
But if he said, actually I am, and I've been hurt by church, I'm not sure who Christ is, that's like a no-brainer moment, right? Yeah. And that's where that term came from. Like we want to wait on the Holy Spirit, let God open the door. I am just ready to step through it, and I'm sending the signal that if you're interested, I'm more than willing to talk about it. I'm that guy, you know.
I love it. And I think this really brings up a lot with this as you might be talking with your life group or meeting with some guys and or people that you like pray together or you talk about this kind of thing. I think it's appropriate to like share fears, share struggles, share insecurities, and even about specific relationships, right? Yeah. People are sharing for their three, praying for their three together, and pray for each other that God would overcome these things in us. Everybody deals with the same stuff.
Have the accountability, because we also can use God as an excuse too. Mm-hmm. So I've also looked at people that I've been waiting for a no-brainer moment, and I finally looked at them and said, "Hey, can I get together and talk to you about your faith?" Yeah. And their yes is their no-brainer moment. So it's kind of all the above, but it's the attentiveness to it. And then let God push it through, and He'll give you the courage, and He'll give you the words at the moment.
I think that's awesome. Well, thanks, Jeff. This has been the Weekend Extra, and we'll catch you next week.